Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? Hello. All right, so as you can see, got a little bit of a transmission. It's not a graveyard anymore. But this has been a 3-week lesson. So this is the transmission that came out of the hatch. I'm going to explain exactly what happened and all that. I'm going to break this up in segments. Son came down to say hi. So I'm going to be teaching you about the transmission, all right?
And I won a soccer game.
Yep. How much goal they score?
5.
You said 4. No, it's 5?
Yeah, I actually remember it was 5.
Yeah, so I've been focused a little bit more.
I'm gonna go make the
taco
wraps.
I've been focusing a lot more on him with his soccer. Got him in the soccer last summer. He already won his first championship on his first team. So we're working on the second season now. I've been teaching him the strength and conditioning and the diet. Just all the little stuff, the lactic acid buildup, all those minute stuff, skills training and all that. So videos have taken a back seat, but I wanted to make this video mainly to keep my memory sharp if I ever go through this experience again, but to help somebody else. So I'm going to walk you through kind of why I had to take this transmission out, what was the noise I was hearing, what some of the issues I went through, and some of them were caused by me being overconfident. I did synchros on here. These two synchros I didn't replace because only a specific gear was grinding in mines, and by the time I got overconfident, messed up everything. Yeah, so see, I got a few synchros over here what I changed out. Let's just say I got so cocky and overconfident, it took me 3 weeks to put this transmission together. I had to call the company. You can see it's got fresh Honda bond on there. I had to call Synchro Tech with my tail in between my legs, asking what I was doing wrong because I had pulled this casing apart. I want to say maybe 20 to 25 times trying to figure out where I went wrong. So you stick around for this episode and I'll let you know what I found out after I called everybody pulling off the case. The shaft in here. I don't know if you can see it. Kept binding. See, it's turning now. Push it in. You hear that reverse? Before, when I would do that and try to turn the shaft, it would not turn. It would bind. Keep it in. Fifth gear. Turn the shaft. It would not turn. So stay tuned. At the end of the episode, I'm going to go more into detail on what occurred with this transmission. But first, let's get to why I had to remove the transmission and how I wound up with this transmission, a whole transmission over here, got flywheels, and 2 clutches. All right. So this was the original clutch that came out of the car when I took the engine and transmission out of the Prelude. This is I won't say factory, but this is the one that I had in there. This is the clutch that I upgraded because I figured while the engine and all that was out, I upgraded to a single sport stage series stage 1 clutch. So let me show you. Oh damn, I don't even know what happened to it. was trying to show. Okay. So I don't know if you guys caught that just now. Okay, here it is. The freaking spring popped out. So I was trying to fix it, trying to, I was trying not to buy no more parts. Got some other things I want to deal with, but you can see, like on here has the flat spots in the spring, and I'm gonna go outside and show you guys what was happening. But the spring itself, when I took the clutch and pressure plate off, the spring was sitting out. These tabs, see a little tab here, it's on the other springs, they had completely bent the other way. I tried bending them in, but the metal, it wasn't pliable, so it just snapped off. But I gotta make sure nothing falls down in there. It popped off, and the spring was just like literally like this. So I'm gonna show you what happened. All right, so I'm with the hatch right now. It's been like this for almost a month. Yeah, it's been like this for almost a month because of trying to figure out what was going on with the other transmission. I was determined to put that back together because that was a transmission that had the LSD Accord fifth gear, and I had a substitute H23 transmission, but I just didn't want to put it in to have to take it back out. I'm a little bit anal. I don't like stuff to just work. I wanted to work how I want it. All right. So this was what was happening with this clutch, right? It goes in, it sits up to the flywheel. This is a lightweight steel flywheel from Clutch Master, right? What was happening is, the pressure plate goes on the back part right here. When the throwout bearing would come in, push on the pressure plate, right, and lock the clutch onto the flywheel to slow it down, right? That spring that was popped out was rubbing on the flywheel bolts, right? They're a little bit rusty now, but you could see when I first take it off. Thankfully, it wasn't too bad. It didn't damage the flywheel, and I kept hearing the noise, right? This was the sound of the noise. That's literally how it was, right? I had a video of it while me and my son was driving it, but it was like one thing after another. The car started giving me problems, then my phone, the screen went blank on me, and I had to switch phones, and that led into me losing some of my videos. But literally, this is the noise I was hearing. And that would be every time I would come off the clutch. So when I put the clutch in, I was fine. But when I would come off the clutch, I would hear this definite, it sounded like something got caught onto your car and it was dragging. So this is just for anybody that has experienced that. These aftermarket clutch, for some reason, these springs, and I'll show you, anybody that's familiar with aftermarket clutch knows what I'm talking about, but I'll show you. Yeah. So, let's see, should I turn it the right way? Okay. So, these aftermarket clutches with these bigger springs, for some reason, the way how they're locked in versus the smaller springs, they popped out. And like I said, it lost it's a difference. Like, I don't know, guys can see the difference in them, right? I'll flip them over. This is the side that was okay. And so I kept this clutch, and I was going to reuse it, but I don't feel like putting this transmission back in and taking it out again. So yeah, the aftermarket exedy clutch. You can see how much meat is still on this clutch. You can see them together. that this clutch is almost brand new. It's barely, I mean, longest drove I drove on it was the Tennessee Tail of the Dragon. The clutch disc is perfect. But this is my theory. The lightweight flywheel that I put in there required so much more clamping force that the clutches were working beyond what they could manage, and it just overwhelmed the clutch. So I called competition clutch because that's where I got the flywheel from. And you can see the flywheel here. Steel flywheel, lightweight. Um you can see the old factory flywheel still in there. Yeah. So I called competition, told them the issue I had with my exedy clutch. Um Told them what flywheel I had in there. And I pretty much told them I messed up because I should have gotten the flywheel and pressure plate along with the car. I told them how much horsepower I was making and what was my expectations down the road because I didn't want to get too much of a clutch where I had the strongest left leg in the world. Um, yeah. So once they were able to take my information, they recommended a clutch for me and pressure plate and throwout bearing, and it should be coming soon. There's kind of no point of me recording, taking out transmissions and all that stuff. I mean, you can see a ton of those. I just want to record videos that's worthwhile, like the noise, because different noises, different problems throughout bearings, grinding noise. But this was literally like something was dragging under the car every time I would apply the clutch. Or actually, it would be as soon as I started releasing the clutch, you would hear that noise, and it was kind of hard to actually hear while you were driving the car because of the exhaust, and the car is a tin can. But literally, that's how it sounded. Um, I thought something was wrong with the transmission. I was just so focused on getting in here, and fixing the transmission, throwing it back on the car. But because I couldn't figure out how to put this transmission back together, and I now had to put this one in, and all I got to do now is put the case in. Um, Something happened where I couldn't just throw the transmission back in. Something had happened, and no, no, I was getting ready to put the H23 transmission back in, and I said to myself, since the clutch and flywheel is right there, just take them off and look at them, because I was not going to take them off, and I was going to put them back on and have the same noise again. But I figured, since the flywheel and the pressure plate is right there, let's take them off and inspect them. And sure enough, as soon as I took off the clutch on the flywheel, on the pressure plate, I found the pressure plate and the clutch is right there. I took them off, found that one of the springs was popping out. That's what initially was causing the problem. So because I had to order a clutch, that gave me a little bit more time to figure out this transmission here. This was the one you guys see me put back together. Yeah, I'm gonna go over exactly where I went wrong in this. It took me so many times just to be able to go through the gears. Fine. I was not able to do this before. It was, yeah. So stay tuned. My next video I make in regards to the transmission should be of the synchros. I'm not this transmission. I'm gonna put the case back together on this. I'm gonna do it on this because, like I said, got definitely overconfident. You can see it's missing a synchro, and yeah, I got schooled on that. So you guys stay tuned. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. One love. Stay up. Stay blessed. Stay strong.